Yo, what's good, BeBackGaming fam? It's your boy BeBack here, and today we're diving into the chaotic, retro-fueled world of Deliver at All Costs. This game dropped in May 2025 from Far Out Games and Konami. And let me tell you, it's something else. Is it a wild, destructive joyride or a frustrating mess that leaves you stuck in first gear? This is a non-sponsored review, so you're getting my raw, unfiltered thoughts. Let's hit the road and find out if this delivery sim delivers. Stick around for my final score and some community thoughts at the end. Let's go. Alright, let's break down what Deliver at All Costs is all about. Set in 1959, you play a down-on-his-luck delivery driver for a company called We Deliver on the fictional island of St. Monique. The core gameplay loop: pick up packages, drive them to their destination, and, well, cause as much chaos as possible along the way. This game leans hard into destructible environments. Like, you can smash through fences, billboards, even entire buildings with your truck. It's got this crazy taxi meets burnout vibe, with a sprinkle of GTA's open-world madness. The driving feels arcadey, but satisfying. Your truck's got weight, and the physics of crashing through stuff is gloriously over the top. You'll deliver everything from fireworks to let's just say weird cargo, and the missions throw in some wild curveballs. 1 minute you're dodging exploding fireworks, the next you're outrunning cops after a delivery goes south. The variety keeps things fresh. But here's the catch: the game's structure can feel repetitive. You're constantly going back to the We Deliver hub, picking up a job, driving, delivering, repeat. There's some mission variety, but it starts to feel samey after a few hours. The controls are solid, and you can remap everything, which is a big plus. But the game's open world design is split into regions with loading screens, which kills the flow sometimes. You'll be tearing through a city, only to hit a loading screen that resets all your glorious destruction. It's a buzzkill when you just leveled a cafe and want to admire the wreckage. The story's got this quirky, 1950s pulp fiction vibe. You're a guy running from a mysterious past, scraping by to pay rent. The island of St. Monique and the mainland cities you visit later are dripping with retro charm. Think neon diners, classic cars, and old-school billboards. The writing's got a dark comedy edge, but it's hit or miss. The main characters are decently voiced, but some secondary characters sound like they recorded their lines in one take. It's not bad, but it feels like the voice direction could have used another pass. The story progresses as you take on bigger jobs, and there's some light mystery about your character's past. It's not groundbreaking, but it keeps you curious enough to push through the 10 to 12 hour campaign. The world feels alive, with pedestrians reacting to your chaos, but don't expect GT levels of depth. It's more like a playground for your delivery shenanigans. Let's talk audio. The 1950s soundtrack is a banger if you're into that era's tunes. Think rockabilly, doo-wop, and jazzy vibes. Each region has its own music, which adds personality, but the tracks can loop a bit too much if you're grinding missions. There's also these fake radio commercials that are hilarious at first, but get old fast since there's only a handful of them. Here's a weird issue: the music glitches out during loading screens. At least on PS5, it's like the game can't decide what track to play, and it's jarring every time you cross a region. The sound design otherwise is solid. Crashing through buildings sounds crunchy and satisfying, and the voice acting, while inconsistent, lands the game's quirky tone most of the time. Visually, Deliver at All Costs nails the 1950s aesthetic. The cities are vibrant, with colorful signage and retro vehicles that pop on screen. The destruction effects are a highlight. Watching a billboard crumble or a wall explode into debris is pure eye candy. That said, the game's not pushing graphical boundaries. It's clean but not a next-gen showcase. Performance-wise, I played on a PS5, and it ran smoothly at 60 FPS most of the time. But those loading screens between regions are a pain. They're not long, but they break immersion. I also noticed some pop-in textures and minor bugs, like NPCs getting stuck in walls after a crash. Nothing game-breaking, but it's noticeable. Accessibility is a mixed bag. Remappable controls and dialogue, slow motion are great, but the lack of adjustable subtitle size is a real miss, especially for console players sitting far from their TVs. Let's break it down. Here's what I loved about Deliver at All Costs. Pros: destructible environments are a blast. Smashing through stuff never gets old. The 1950s vibe is charming and well executed. Solid driving mechanics with responsive controls. Mission variety keeps the chaos fresh for a while. Cons: loading screens disrupt the open world flow. Repetitive gameplay loop can drag after a few hours. Music glitches and limited radio ads get annoying. Accessibility options are limited, especially for subtitles. The game's biggest strength is its chaos, but it doesn't always sustain the momentum. If you love games like Crazy Taxi or just cuz for their sheer anarchy, you'll find a lot to like here. But if you need a deeper story or more varied gameplay, you might feel shortchanged. So, is Deliver at All Costs worth your cash? At $39.99, it's priced like an indie title, which feels about right. It's not a blockbuster, but it's not trying to be. If you're into chaotic, arcadey fun and don't mind some rough edges, this is a solid pickup. It's perfect for short bursts of mayhem, but might not hold you for a 20-hour marathon. I'd say wait for a sale if you're on the fence, especially if loading screens or repetitive missions bug you. For me, it's a game that's fun but flawed. It's got heart, but it doesn't always stick the landing. If you've played it, drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you loving the destruction, or did it leave you frustrated? Let's talk about it. Alright, time for the BeBackGaming score. I'm giving Deliver at All Costs a 7.5/10. It's a wild ride with a unique vibe, but the repetitive loop and technical hiccups hold it back from greatness. Still, for a budget-priced title, it's a fun time if you're in the mood for chaos. Before I wrap up, I asked our BeBackGaming Discord what you all thought. 60% of you said it's a fun but flawed gem. 25% called it a chaotic masterpiece. And 15% said it feels unfinished. Seems like most of us are vibing with the chaos but want a bit more polish. Join our Discord to vote in our next poll. That's it for our Deliver at All Costs review. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next video. You won't want to miss it. Let me know what you think of this game below. And as always, keep gaming and stay awesome. BeBackGaming out.